Namaste. It's not that it's bad. I just think it'll resonate with people more. Oh, we got the toast man in the house. Rye guy, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Hope Gabriel and Grace are doing well. I am traveling right now, so I'm in Toronto doing content. Carly, good evening, everyone. I'm going to try to pop back in later. We're trying to get some stuff outside before it gets dark. Totally understandable, Carly. You got that busy family over there. Sharzy says, I think penguins do, but I don't speak Chinese. Oh, Ben Laguerre. We are one. Ben Laguerre, what's going on, brother? Haven't seen for a couple days. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jesse says, what's up? Yeah, today was one of those games that happens to every team where everything goes wrong once in a while. Bruins will at least fight back harder next game, I hope. Oh, yeah, they ain't going down without a fight. That team was built to make the other team's life miserable. The boys will be coming. Kastelik, Jeannot, they'll be fired up. They'll be fired up. Okay, so we're getting ready here for Big Ben coming in. Not Pittsburgh Big Ben Roethlisberger. We're talking about the OG Big Ben. That's Ben Myers. Leafs fan, one of my favorite underrated Leafs player. Well, namaste, bro. That's hella underrated because I never played for them, but I appreciate you. I appreciate that love and light. You just bought a Gabriel jersey yesterday? What? That can't be true. How could that be true if you're coming in here torching me with so much strange energy, brother? Raga, I need a ringer Wednesday night. Do you drop the gloves these days? I don't. I do get a lot of messages about that. Everybody loves to come in the comments in my DMs and say, hey, the Wild needs you, or the Devils need you, or San Jose needs a tough guy. It's like, I'm 165 pounds, people. Come on. You say I am in a weird state tonight, TikTok user, whatever your handle is. Like, come on, man. Or fellow wave. Like, you're killing me. You're the one saying I'm in a strange state. You're in a strange state, brother. Holy cow. Okay, a couple more comments before we bring in Ben. Erica, I have some great pics with my camera of you from talking to people. I shall send them over when I fix some of the lighting. Oh, look at you. Look at you with your fancy camera out there taking pictures of me. Thank you so much, Erica. Jesse, Zadorov got ejected at the end for breaking his stick off of Darlene with a cross-check and swinging at him. Love it. That's what you do when you're losing a game and you're down 3-1 the series now. You let them know you ain't going down without a fight. I love that. I love that. Okay, here he comes. The man, the myth, the legend, Ben Myers himself, off his recent first 2-hour episode on the podcast that we released to the community. Here's Ben Myers, everybody. You're one, brother. What's going on? How are you?
Brother. I'm amazing, brother. How are you? I saw some cool picture on your story today. I saw you got to hang out with Erica today. That's killer. That's awesome.
It was really cool to be in her energy field, her toric, spiritual, heart coherent field, and it sure is lovely. Let me tell you, everybody, it sure is lovely. She is the exact same in person, and you can feel it through the stream of consciousness, but you get around people, it's always that different level of energy. But brother, how are you doing today?
Great, man. Doing great. I just got done a 2-mile walk, jumped in the shower. You want to hear, I don't know if this is anxiety, OCD, whatever it may be. You want to hear a funny little quirk I had before I got on the stream?
We all want to hear it.
I was gonna say, maybe somebody can relate to this. So I was sitting there, I was jamming on my guitar, playing the piano a little bit. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to wear tonight. I was like, tonight we're going to talk about some stuff in my wheelhouse. I know a lot of people were getting in. Hello, everybody. Hello. And I go, I want to feel kind of good about myself. You know, I want to feel a little, and, typical me. I go, I don't know. I get the shirt out and I'm talking, this looked like it was crunched up in a ball, wrapped around in rubber bands, and it was so wrinkled. So I go, I need a shower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank the heat all the way up and I'm going to steam it. This was at 6:53. And I was like, typical like ADHD procrastination type thing. Like wait till you have the very last minute. But I couldn't wear any other shirt once I decided I wanted to wear this one. So that was like this like little imaginary world. I was just like dancing, but I was vibing out, like jamming to music and stuff like that. But I wanted to just let everybody know that it was such like an interesting past like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I got on here because I was just hell bent on wearing this blue shirt because it matched my red.
Dude, I'm feeling exactly how you're feeling because I'm in this Airbnb. I'm getting here. The parking spot they said was a normal parking spot. It's a compact parking spot. I'm barely fitting my Jeep in it. I'm like, is this gonna? I'm getting up here. I gotta call my mom because she had her 3-hour meditation group thing today. I'm like, all these things are, the energy is just out of control, and I'm just like, ooh, for the stream, bring it down. So hey, maybe we need to do a little intention setting here. Maybe we need to vibe in.
I can lead it. I say I can lead it, but I'll tell you what. Before my podcast episode that we recorded, I was feeling what you were putting out. So I'm not going to say I would love if you did it, if you feel open to that, because I'll tell you what, you had me sitting in the observer seat, just looking down.
All right, people. I'll lead it. Okay, get a little settled here. It's definitely a different energy in a different place. Okay. So if you are safe, everyone, if you are not driving, if you're at home, if you are able to close your eyes, you're invited to close your eyes. If not, keep those eyes open, but be with us with your consciousness. So we'll go with those who are seated in some way. We're going to feel our feet on the floor. I can feel them on this linoleum Airbnb fake floor right now, which I love. It's right where I am. Just feel into the body. Feel the energy right now, especially Ben and I. The energy is pulsing. Maybe it's calmer for you, subtler. Maybe something's bothering you. Maybe it feels like there's a thorn in your ribs or an agitation in your mind. All of this is okay. It could not be. Now we're going to get into some psychological sighs. So double inhale, one big one, second one small. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. Again. Hold at the top, let it out. Now everybody go again. Hold at the top and let it out super slow. Keep going all the way and rest in the bottom. Take all the tension off your breath. We are on this stream tonight, all in our own unique way, in our unique journey, channeling the love and light that we are able to into this collective, into this family. And Brother Ben being so vulnerable last Tuesday enabled us to talk on a beautiful podcast and then post it in our WhatsApp community, setting up a discussion on a topic that clearly hit home. And at the root of it all, health anxiety is the deepest fear of every single one of us. So in this new setting that we are all one, saying it in English, something we all resonate with more, we are all one in this shared collective of health anxiety, of struggle, of feeling like this meat monkey spacesuit has limitations that define us. And we are here to explore if that is true or not. Double inhale. Let it out. Feel so connected to all of you right now. And whatever comes up on this call, we will sit with it together. To the love and light, people, let's go.
Brother. I had this not weird. It was actually really enlightening. Every time you lead that, maybe I selfishly wanted you to lead it because I always have a moment when you do. I had this feeling of just like kids playing in a sandbox. I know we use that phrase all the time, but I felt the joy of a kid being able to play with his friend, sit there and like just enjoying the love of community friends, like we're on a playground and we just get to pick the spot of the playground we want to play on. And no matter where we go, we have like our best friends being able to just like play and enjoy in each spot. And when we want to move to the next spot, more best friends are over there kind of getting play. So I appreciate you. That was awesome, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. It's I learned so much from you, man, and it's so beautiful to hear. Like I'm like watching myself lead that and let the words come through. And I love when you do it too. It's so interesting to hear how that present moment comes through people, their Meat Monkey spacesuit in different ways. And hey, you've done like the first like 6 of those we've done together. So I thank you for getting me in on the action, man.
Absolutely, man.
Very nice. It's just wild how much that can rest you into the moment. I feel so much more relaxed.
You look it too. I feel it. I know I look it. The energy completely changed, man.
Okay. Well, this is your thing, man. Like it's all of us in it together. But man, did you ever open up a can of love and light here? And this is something that clearly hit home. And I knew it wasn't a point for a couple of our collective members, but the way you were sharing about it, and then I'm hoping that people listen into your podcast episode. I'm hoping that's got a lot of energy coming in. But where is your mind going right now with this, with health anxiety? I know you shared your whole journey. I want to know if anybody else listened to the full thing, but
I think I saw Erica listen to a good bit of it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if not, that's totally okay because that podcast episode is not going to come out for like a couple months, honestly. So if you're in the WhatsApp community and you want to kind of get a deep dive into kind of not just my story, but kind of I talk about health anxiety and some things I went through, and I feel like it's a little bit aligned with the community. So you can check it out. If not, you can check it out in a couple months or get into the WhatsApp and check it out tonight. But where it's leading from me, I would love just to hear, because there were so many wonderful people that were sharing their experience or their family members or how to show up for themselves or family members. And I'm always happy to touch on, my experience and what that looks like and has looked like for me over my life. But if people are in here, I know LA, Lindsay were big ones that were kind of having the big experience. And as we chat, I would just love if people just kind of shared their experiences, had any questions. Once again, it's the reason I got into this was literally the health anxiety experiencing through me. So for sure. But a little bit
quick shout out to Anthony Peluso, our podcast guest from today. Just joined the chat, brother. Just sending you all the love out there, White Rock, BC. Me and Ben are on here. Dude, incredible episode. I'm hoping you're getting some great feedback from people. It'll continue to ripple out, but just thank you again.
It's so funny. My mom watched the episode today, right? And she goes, "You would never think that man used to beat the shit out of people." She goes, "He is the nicest, kindest, most motivating." Like my mom like sent that over to people. Like my sister, she's like, you'll relate to him and all this because my sister's a nurse and him getting into like the firefighting and stuff like that. Like it was just like this mindset. So brother, I'm so grateful for you spending the time to jump on with Gabe's and allowing us to talk on it because anybody who has an impact on my mom, I just have so much love for. So thank you for that, man. She loved it.
Seriously, everybody check out the podcast because it's like this guy is arguably one of the toughest dudes, best fight records, and he's just the most soft-spoken, calm, grounded man, just like gentle, big Italian teddy bear. My goodness. Okay, just had to give that a little aside because I saw that name pop up and we had to give him some love. So
Absolutely.
Enlighten Erica's tapping in here, and no wonder Enlighten Erica's tapping in because she watched the damn thing. I literally have a page in my journal called Light Bulb Moments from Ben's episode, and it was the little light bulb moments I got from it. LOL.
That's awesome. That's so. Is there anything, Erica, that pops out for you that would kind of you think just relate? Because once again, if there's a common thread between you and I would love to see if it's a common thread between others. And if they're super personal to you, you don't have to feel obligated to share those. But if there's anything you think would kind of help, because it's so weird, right? We think we have our story won't resonate with other people because it's just like, oh, because I'll be truthfully honest, like, or brutally honest, like jumping on with Gabe's or, Thorbs jumps on, or then we have Peluso jump on. Like, I get this big overwhelming kind of like, who the fuck am I sometimes? And then when I have things like what Erica says is like, I have light bulb moments from my experience. I go, what a wonderful reminder that we all are just living this life. And whether you're, lacing them up on a professional level, or you're going into your job, or you're just trying to get up in the morning and get out of bed, like we're all going through our version of each other's story. So I love to hear that I was able to resonate with people about, whether it be health anxiety or, going through getting bullied as a kid, or toxic relationships, or self-doubt and self-worth, all of these things, because I know I'm not the only person. And I think that's where we get kind of twisted sometimes. Is, we just try to like bury our own story because somebody else out there has it so much worse than us. And we just kind of discredit ourselves.
Oh, that has killed so much moments of suffering. And that's part of their journey for people when they compare. And I know I've been there, but while Erica's maybe typing, or I know Lisa and Lynn's, I know they checked in early in the stream here. I know they're here. Maybe they're going through some type of day, but would love if people get the fingers typing on what they think. But I mean, me and Palouse touched on in our episode. I mean, he didn't call it body dysmorphia for himself. He just said, it definitely made him wary on checking his body weight and his body fat, what a coach told him when he was 10 years old. If anybody didn't see, a coach at 10 years old sat down him and his dad and said, if he wanted to make AAA, he had to lose 15 pounds. And his dad looked at the coach, who was a friend, and went, with all due respect, Chris, get the fuck out of my house. And that stuck with Palouse. And, he was always worried about being a certain body fat when it really didn't matter, especially as heavyweights. Like, guys are going to be 12, 13%, and that's fine. They're huge. Like, when I was 227, the biggest I was 12%. When I was 210, 15, I was 8, 9%. Didn't matter. But for me, I genuinely think I had that. So this is, I think health, it's a little side off of health. It ties back to health anxiety, but I couldn't walk by a mirror without looking at myself and just laughing at myself. The ego, the voice, the phantom just laughing in my head going, you are supposed to be this tough guy. You're supposed to be this beast of a specimen. And you look narrower than a pencil. And of course I wasn't in reality, but I was smaller than most guys. And for me, that got in my head a lot. But as it went through my life into my retirement more, it just became now like this old identity of an athlete. And I was always so fit and always supposed to be so healthy. And then I started to have weird things happen. I started to have my elbows get tendonitis. I started to have a lot of stress about not being able to work out, and then holding myself guilty if I didn't work out, or am I gonna suffer in old age if I can't do a certain amount of push-ups? Like, just crazy stuff that your mind does.
Two things. One, you mentioned it with Peluso, right? You're talking about like at age 10, there's two things that will stick with you for the rest of your life. It's that coach and what he said at 10 years old, that you have to lose 15 pounds, yada, yada, or 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever. But also the way his dad responded. Like, that's like a monumental moment as a parent of like, because how many parents would be like, okay, this is what we got to do. Like this, like he knows what my kid's got to do. Okay. Hey, brother, like, buddy, you got to lose this. But like, no, his dad was like, respectfully, get the fuck out of the house. Like, it's one of those things is like, it checks a box of like, my parents are doing what's best for me, not best for what, like, money, whatever it might be. So I think those two things are like super like important to talk about. Fucking rock star of a parent move right there. And two, I relate to you, man. I still to this day can't walk by a mirror without looking at myself and judging myself. Whether even if it be like, "Hey, you look good." Oh my gosh, you did all like
Mm.
there's always a judgment because I was made of fun of for my weight when I was a kid. Like, and then I went from 5'3" to 6'1" in a summer in 3 months. So like any fat I had turned into like I it was insane. I went from being a little chubby kid to being pole skinny in 3 months, which was an absolute talk about a trip. But yeah, and then I don't want to say a battle with weight, but I've had an adventure and a journey with weight fluctuation my entire life. So I feel you, brother. And I see we got a couple people bringing up Lisa.
There we go.
Speaking of weight, when I would weigh myself and it went down, I would immediately think, oh my God, I have cancer. Then if I weighed again and I had gained weight, I'd be like, whew, that's interesting, right? Because the other side. And I'd be so curious on those things, like what, like, is it seeing a family member go through fighting a battle and that's something that sticks out in your mind? All those type of things. Because it's remember, it's not just a relationship with like the number on the scale being lower and it being a good thing. This is a really important message of like, hey, it's the relationship to weight no matter what the number says, because you hear a lot of people talk about like, how do you feel in your body kind of thing, no matter what the scale says. Lisa, thank you so much for sharing that, because that's incredible vulnerability.
But that's interesting, right? How it all filters through us. Like we're reading this comment and you and me may not relate to this in the same way, but then I'm thinking, oh, like you said, did you see someone go through cancer and lose weight? And that automatically now triggers that like I'm just using hypothetical here, Lisa. Please tell us what that was for you. But I'm just trying to, like, my brain went, wow, that's an interesting way of going through this. And I'm like, okay, then I put on my empathy shoes of like, my granny started losing weight like crazy when she had lung cancer. And I'm like, you can see how that could get imprinted in someone's brain of just the fear that comes up and not knowing how to do with it. Boom, store it, push it back down. I don't want it. Then it translates to Lisa's experience. So I'd love to know how that manifested, Lisa, but it's so crazy how the littlest, strangest things can lock into our heads, man.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. Erica, so I'm good at sports. I'm known for sports. If I don't do sports, I'm nothing. I think she's responding to the light bulb moments. I wrote a blank space instead of sports so I could put mine in. And identity, right? You think you're known for something and then you get so tied up. That's what me and you are literally creating an entire, we're just creating not even just a course, but a practice container and a community of people that a relationship to identity. And I think a big thing about what this chat is going to be about, you're going to hear me talk about it constantly, is the relationship with the emotion. It's not that it's a good emotion or a bad emotion, a desired emotion or a less desired emotion. It's our relationship to it that is the most important thing. And I went on a 2-mile walk before I had my little blue shirt extravaganza over here. And because I was like, what is coming through for me? And I think so many of us, myself included, struggle with relationships with undesired emotions. Mm-hmm. And so, Erica, I relate to that so much. Obviously, you related to me. I relate to you. So thank you for sharing that, because we're so much more. Gabe's is so much more. Peluso, Thorb's so much more than just a hockey player or an athlete or a mental health coach. We're souls. We're physical beings that are having an impact on this world. So thank you so much.
And Mama Myers in the Instagram going, I never want to see that weight loss again. So I'm sure you guys have gone through something like that in your experience with cancer and stuff, it sounds like. So Lisa's giving us some more context here. I remember hearing someone in my hometown died so quickly from cancer and didn't know they had it. I said something to my doc and he said they would have lost a lot of weight. That stuck in my head. My mom died of cancer 10 years ago. It was one of my scariest triggers. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. So it's wild. Right?
It's that one right there. That's the one that got you. That comment. That's the one, the doctor telling you they would have had to lost weight, a lot of weight. And that just printed. your meat monkey spacesuit went, okay, any weight loss that's unexpected, that means cancer.
And someone who experiences health anxiety, there's not 1,000 other possibilities. It's that, and that is a direct correlation. That's what that means. And ironically, through neuroscience and everything, the more attention we put on that as being a certainty, and that's what we believe to be true, the number increases of that probability just feeling true, because we're also creating that more into existence, right? And that gets really scary, because you know what's a really interesting stat? I can't remember the exact number, so please don't quote this and chop it up and make me look like an idiot somewhere. But 33% of hospital bed occupancies are pretty much like phantom. It's all mental, which is like wild. 1/3 of most hospital bed occupancies are mental, because they believe they have something and it manifests into it.
That's always the rate of the placebo effect. It's always about 30-40%, and it checks out, because we're all love and light people. So if you're the love and light that doesn't know it's the love and light, you can create anything out of that love and light. You are creating your reality. That's why we talk about how much our intentions matter. But here's the catch, which is terrifying. When you first learn to know this, it's like, wait a second. So I can create my own reality, but then the negative thought is still there. We still have the program. So the negative thought goes, oh yeah, we can. And you have cancer. And you're like, wait, no, if I think that, I'm going to get cancer. And it's like, yeah, you are. No. And it snowballs. And now you think you're literally programming. It's like your mind's hijacked you to be a computer programmer. And it's like, haha, we got you now, motherfucker. We're going to program you for, and you're like seeing this thing you can't stop. And that's when we spiral. Ben, that's when this sounds like anxiety. It's bringing anxiety up in me.
So it's so interesting you said that. It takes me exactly back to, if you watch the episode, you're going to hear a lot of my story and things like that. And if you haven't, you'll see it in a couple months or a month and a half or so. I didn't say this in the episode. I would say the literal moment things started turning, I was in the middle of having a panic attack by myself in the apartment. My partner was at work. I was like losing my mind, freaking out, because now I can't go anywhere. I don't have any, and I am pacing back and forth, and I can distinctly remember the washer and dryer right in front of me in a small apartment in South Florida. And I had this thought, like, what if every thought I'm having came true? What would I do? And there was this moment of like really brief but powerful clarity. And it goes, what would you do? And I said, well, I would change the thoughts. Now, this gets weird because I'm in the middle of having a panic attack, which is all worst case scenario. Everything is happening. But in that moment, I realized some part of me is choosing to have these thoughts. I choose this. And then that started the whole thing of like, well, where do they come from? Why am I constantly going back to these thoughts? Why are these becoming patterns? And then once I started asking why so many times, all of a sudden things started making sense. But it came back to that one moment of, you choose the thoughts and don't let anyone tell you that you don't. And now that's really hard, because people with OCD that experience OCD will be like, brother, you need to get slapped upside the head. And like, I am, for people in that space, I empathize with you. I'm not sitting here saying you're making it all up, but we're all tuned into a radio station. So it was that moment that I started changing. I was like, I'm going to learn how to more intentionally choose my thoughts throughout the day. And then it went into self-talk and things like that. But that's where everything started for me.
It's hitting home. I know that's hitting home right now for Lisa. The, oh my God, what if I manifested concept has made me spiral so hard so many times. And this is why when we aren't spiraling, we got to put in the work. We got to do the work when we're not spiraling. As I say, when the pebble is just being thrown at your window at night, the little thoughts before bed, and it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, my mind's moving around. I can fall asleep to this. Yeah. Okay. And you wake up in the morning. Yeah, the pebble's still there. Let's not ignore it, people. Let's sit down and meditate and be okay with that pebble. Because one day that pebble's going to be a baseball sized rock, and it's going to be bigger. And next thing you know, it's going to be a freaking boulder coming at your house. And I'm sure that was the feeling somewhat in my analogy of your panic attacks, man. So it kind of always comes down to this aha moment, where what do you think led you to just being like, seeing that as a positive and not seeing it as a negative? Like, oh wait, I've been choosing all these and I'm in control of these. And instead of going, these are negative, these are cascading on me like an avalanche. What made you go, no, I can look at this positively? What do you think led to that?
It wasn't in that moment that I thought that I had that. It was that moment of clarity that I'm choosing it, but it was one of those, I'm not ready to do anything about it in this moment of panic. But it was kind of like, hey, let's shelve this and like put an asterisk next to it. And when I'm at least hopefully 25% less elevated, I can think about that. And then that's when I started doing it. For sure. And I wanted to say also, Lisa, I want to say thank you for sharing your mom's journey through cancer and sharing. So sorry to hear about her passing, but I just want to say thank you for sharing that. But I would say that was it. It was kind of like mental check mark and be like, now's not the moment to solve this. But that is an interesting moment of clarity to be having in such an elevated state. So when having panic or experience anxiety or panic or whatever it may be, remember there's things coming through too, but the mind's going to want to solve it in those moments. And this is what I'll say to myself or clients or anything like that is, do you think this is the most opportune time to solve this problem? Or do you think this is a really good time to recognize it and solve it when we're kind of in a more regulated state? And the answer is always, let's solve it in a more regulated state.
And this is why I don't care how many times people in the community get sick of me talking about meditation, checking in every day. Wait, did I miss it again today too? I didn't even track the meditation. No, I did. I did it before I left. No, I didn't. I don't remember. Anyway, we'll do it. But this is why we keep harping on it, because you never know when that's coming. And when it rains, it pours, and you got to put in that work ahead of time. I mean, Sharzy over here, he's at that point where he's just like, hey, it is what it is. I mean, that's the goal, that's the goal. But I do think our mind and ego can trick us into thinking we think that the next thing you know, when that thing does come, it can be different. But hey, Sharzy, you are the Rumi of Rockford, brother. You have a lot of wisdom. You come on this and you're definitely the most jokey and you're definitely the most lighthearted. So there's definitely something to that, brother. Erica says, I found out I have a leaky valve and I'm similar to that too, Sharzy. My dad's had 3 strokes as a pacemaker. He's doing amazing after all that. Jesus, Murphy. Although I don't worry, I don't want him. Although I do worry, I don't want mine blowing. LOL. I only got one heart. Why worry about it?
That's funny.
Well, Sharzy, what led you to that, brother? What led you? I'm sure you're going to have a hilarious, or maybe you'll just be straight up with us and not make it funny. But what do you think led you to that, brother? Because that's ultimately the goal. That's ultimately the goal, is to not worry. One of the great gurus, he was the guru of, he's the great guru of Nisargadatta. He said, having no anxiety is the highest spiritual practice. You should know that everything is beneficial and you should not worry. I mean, sounds like you're tapping into that, brother. We got Cam here with a share. Go ahead, Ben.
My father died of a heart attack at 52, so I became obsessed with the heart and became a marathoner to make it strong. I once again relatable. My mom went through a really intense cancer battle 3 years ago now, and my dad went through the Widowmaker heart attack 2 years ago now. And for someone like myself now, I am not making their journeys about me at all. But for someone who experiences health anxiety, my 2 biggest fears are losing both of my parents. And within literally a year's time, it was put on my front doorstep. And it was like, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And ironically, when my mother was going through it, I was going through Nickerson, and Dr. Wendy Nickerson let me do my role plays. She let me record me talking to my mom. Wow. And helping my mom through, just not even helping, because once again, my mom wouldn't have went to therapy and whatever. She doesn't like to talk about it out loud. She's like mama bears of all mama bears. I don't care what I'm going through. I'm still your mother first. So she wouldn't let a pinhole of darkness seem like whatever was going through it. And I asked Wendy, I was like, would you allow me to do this so I can help sit with my, can I just, like, this is what I'm here to do. Am I allowed to do it? And she allowed me to go through the entire course, role playing with my mom through all of it. And it was like the greatest gift anyone has ever given me, because I finally felt I was able to show up and be there for my mom.
Mm.
And then, yeah, it also helped me. So it was incredible, like an opportunity. But talk about someone who has health anxiety, the closest people to you, you're seeing your worst nightmares come true. And when they're that close to you, you feel it, right? We all share energy, especially with those type of, with our parents, our friends, our loved ones, our partners and stuff like that. So I can't help. I'm a highly empathetic person. I felt like I was going through it with them. So yeah, it's whew. Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's what you just said. I bet you Lynn's might be tapping her fingers on the keyboard or feeling emotional, honestly, because what you shared last week in this, Lynn's, was that it wasn't even about you. You're worried about you passing suddenly for your mother. It was the same thing. And we were all talking about how, isn't that wild that even in the darkest fears can be about other people's suffering and not even ours, because of what Lisa went through with her dad suddenly passing. And now Lynn's thinking, oh my God, what if that happens to me? And my mom is by herself now. And you just, oh man, I know what you just shared hits home with that. I felt, as soon as you were talking about that, I felt Lynn's. I was just like, that's what she's been feeling. I know that's what she's been, wonder if my mom thinks about that at all, or my brother, because it's only the three of us really too. It's only like, people ask, you got a lot of family and stuff. And sometimes I'm catching myself in my Meat Monkey space going, no, it's just me, my mom, and my brother. And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, all our mom's side of the family is over in Scotland. So we've always been disconnected by the ocean. And my dad's side, we've lost touch with. They're scattered around this city I'm in right now in trauma and suffering. The one Uncle Leonard, reached out a summer ago and we connected a little bit, but the energy was a little, it's a lot of times passed. And yeah, I'm definitely going to reconnect with them, but there was some weird anyway, it's life ebbs and flows, but just roll with it. But here's Lynn's coming in. Look what she says.
Yeah, it plagues me every single night. Beg for it to stop. It won't leave my mind. Cam said turning 52 was a weird feeling. All of this stuff. AZ Hockey Medic, that's Dana, right?
Yeah, that's yeah. So I was going to go back to Dana because we just were tapping into what we heard with Lisa and Lynn's here, but like, yeah, Lisa and Lynn's mom and daughter are worried about the same thing back and forth because they feel like they only have each other.
So this is where I really kind of want to dive into something if they're open to me doing that.
Yep, we'll go back to Dana.
Yeah, Dana, you locked in, brother. But here, I bet, and I worry the same for Lynn's without me. I beg for it to stop, and it won't leave my mind. Here comes that relationship with it, right? I beg for it to stop, and it won't leave my mind. What if we stopped begging for it to stop, and we just allowed it to be there? That right there, we want to fight it. Well, I don't want it to be here. What if we allow it to be there? We just work on a relationship with it. So for instance, I'm going to sit here. I'm not going to put myself in your shoes because that's just insensitive, because that would pretend like I know what you're feeling on your end. But for me, if I sit there, I never realized how much power it gives the thought. I think LA said this before. It might have been a comment, or it may have been in the community about like, I went for a walk, I did this, and then I did this, like all stuff to be super.
Oh, that was me telling you about Lynn's last night. Lynn's, I was talking to Ben about you, saying that yesterday you went on a walk, you hung out with your mom, you talked in the car, you did all these fun things, and you said, how am I not going to ruin the rest of my night tonight?
It's so fucking relatable. God is so fucking relatable. And here, I'm so happy you brought that up and mentioned it. And here's the thing. Think about why you did it. Why did you do those things? Well, so I don't feel the emotion. By doing it for that reason, you're fueling the fire, right? You're doing it so you don't feel it. It's you literally putting that thing on a pedestal and worshiping it and saying, I will do anything for you not to be here. I will do anything for you not to be here. And that is a situation in which it takes practice, and I'm not going to ever pretend like it's super easy, but it's remembering like, hey, why don't you come with me? Hey, I'm going to go celebrate this body I do have. I'm going to go celebrate this moment. Like, I'm going to do this because I can. And I would love for you to come with me. Hey, health anxiety, come with me. Let's go enjoy the day a little bit. And you are allowed to stay as long as you want. I mean, I hope you get quieter, but it's my job to help you feel safe because you're scared. The health anxiety is you being scared.
It's, I mean, there's this video by Rupert Spear, everyone. It's 10 minutes. It's him addressing a woman at a retreat that has had an eating disorder since 3 years old. Sub in whatever problem you have, health anxiety, addiction, whatever it is. And he speaks to this woman with so much compassion of just like, you have to decide ahead of time in one of the, let's say, nice times between anxiety attacks or these feelings come up. You have to decide that I want to get to the root of this problem, eating disorder, addiction, health anxiety, fear, more than I want to relieve the feeling that is uncomfortable from that thing. You have to decide that ahead of time. It can't happen in the moment. You have to know that, okay, I've done this so many times. I've let the night be ruined by health anxiety so many times. And I know it doesn't get any better and I keep spiraling. I have to know that I would rather get to the root of this thing than give in to my mind screaming to go eat, to go drink, to go ruin my night with thoughts, whatever it is. And I have lived this to my core and I live it every day. Yesterday, my mom came home with a burrito. We're hanging out. I'm sitting down, eating my oranges. She's right next to me. I can smell the rice, the beans, the garlic, the onion. I can smell it on her breath sitting next to me. I literally sit there. I'm eating my oranges. I look at it because this is what Rupert Spears has to do. I've decided ahead of time. I want to get to the root of this rather than appease it, because I know now that I want to get to the root of it, and I intellectually have the awareness to know that my relief from this feeling that is uncomfortable does not lie on the other end of going outside and eating the burrito. It does not lie there. This is why I call it data collection. Every time we fall or we fail or we drink or we eat, it's data collection. It's not failure. Because as I've talked to you directly about this, Ben, you have to understand the taste of that ego, that phantom convincing you that your suffering is going to end if you do it, as it's trying to convince you. You have to be able to smell the aroma of this addiction, of this compulsion, this habitual need to fulfill this, to extinguish this suffering as it comes up. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, instead of running, I turn and face it. And he said, that's all you need to do is turn and face it and pause. And with the clarity and courage, just be there. And it's so simple. It's so crazy simple, yet it is so difficult to do. And I'm telling you, this is the way, people, for everything. And my mom's like, we listened to it yesterday outside in the sun. She's like, it's really that simple and plain Jane. I'm like, literally, but not when all those emotions cave in on us.
Simple doesn't mean easy.
Fuck
Simple
no.
does not mean easy. I wanted to answer Corey.
Yeah, let's go to Corey Poops. I saw
he asked Ben,
sorry, it's a she, just so you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry,
No,
Corey.
you're good.
She asked, Ben, what allows you to move with the thoughts of the fear of losing your parents and loved ones on the day to day? If I'm going to be so honest with you, it's gratitude. And I joke because on all my calls and all these lives, you see me bring up this journal, and I just track my wins. Because the biggest thing is, like, if my mom stops by, I have data collection that I enjoyed the moments my mom stopped by, that my dad came over, we cut the grass together, doing these type of things. And it's a reminder to me that the only way to work through fear is with gratitude. I'm grateful the fear is there because it's a reminder for me to express and tap into gratitude. Here's the next step to that. I didn't know what gratitude felt like. For me, I knew what gratitude looked like on social media. I know what gratitude looks like in movies. I know what gratitude sounds like in books or reads like in books. I'm an audiobook person, so it sounds like. Um, I express a lot of I'm going to say like autistic traits where I mask a lot and I get a lot of how I should be feeling by other people, but I never really knew what happiness, joy, sadness felt like for me because I was taught that whatever I was feeling wasn't right way to express things. So one of my greatest journeys has been writing down and realizing what gratitude and happiness and what that all feels like for me. So to help through that, what I'm saying is if you're living in fear about anything, gratitude, and not just for a week. It's consistently practicing gratitude and realizing that the fear doesn't go away. Like it's obviously like I'm worried about that. That's something I have catastrophic thoughts all of the time, but my relationship to them no longer puts me in the fucking hole. It goes, this is my reminder to be grateful that I got to send text messages back and forth to my mom and dad today. My dad sent me a reminder that the Phillies were playing today. Like how cool, like how cool is that? I received a text. There's going to be a day in my life I wish my father would send me a text message that the Phillies are playing. What an absolute honor it is to receive that text message. Like, why would I let the fear of that override how cool it is to see Papa John pop up on my, not the pizza shop, my dad, Papa John pop up on my phone. So that's the way I do it is I practice gratitude as much and as frequently as I can because it changes everything for me.
And it sure did, because you had Mama Meyer over here when you shared back then. She said, you showed up 1000% for me. Couldn't have done it without you with a heart. And I then told her to get over to the kick so we could see it.
She's like, she's probably having a heart attack right now. She's like, I don't know what kick is.
I know. Okay, Dana, I have almost no health anxiety either. I've seen so many people die so many different ways, and I kind of see the benefits of living long, but I also get the YOLO mindset. You only live once because you never know when you will get T-boned by a cement truck. Ooh, Dana, the firefighter captain. Dude. I mean, you want to talk about ways to face mortality? Fuck, man. T-boned by a cement truck. I can't imagine. I mean, he shared, Ben, before you started joining us more, he actually came on for a good hour and a half. It was an incredible time. And he did EMDR, I believe, Dana, if I'm recalling correctly, with a therapist, and he relived going to the scene of, like, I think it was a prom night. I don't know if it was prom king and queen, but prom night, and they got T-boned right out in front of the prom, right out in front of where the event was being held, and he had to go be there on that situation and taking that girl in and then leaving the emergency covered in her blood, and then the family walking by him, seeing him covered in it and seeing the look on their faces. Like that, dude, like that was so vulnerable to share, and no wonder you're able to, you just got exposure therapy and trauma over and over again, dude. And I know you've been working really hard at it, man. And Eric said it today again when we were visiting, that you invited her out to your place. That's amazing, man. You're a light in this world. He says, I am also had many carcinogen exposures. Firefighters have 300 greater chance for certain cancers. So I got to kind of go with I'll just kind of go with it if I get it with the deal then. Anyway, sorry. I know Dana was like typing sometimes. My bad, brother. Thank you for sharing. It's sad because with therapy, we could have realized it wasn't his fault. I've had my struggles. So he's talking about Erica's share here. So how don't you read Erica's share? This is what he was saying, or she was saying.
My best friend's dad was a chief. He passed with stage 4 lung cancer, found out at stage 4. He saved so many lives, and the ones he lost was right across the street from his house when he was off duty. Would smoke cigs and stare at that house. It was a baby that didn't make it.
And that's why Dana said, thank you for sharing that. It's sad because therapy, he would have realized it wasn't his fault. I've had many struggles with past calls.
And once again...
Oh, ketamine. Sorry, ketamine did that for him, not EMDR.
Both incredibly powerful. What's interesting is, like, there's this thing about therapy, right? It's building relationships with it. I think that's the strongest thing you can do. It's not that you'll forget that it happened. It's you'll build a relationship with it, and you'll maybe change the narrative of the way you tend to look at things. And so I agree. If that person did go back to therapy, that would have been something they worked on, because we're not taught healthy coping strategies or all of these things. Like I had to dive into, like I was fortunate enough to get my degree in psychology, especially in like behavioral and cognitive. Like mine was behavioral analysis, and I got really, and I loved cognitive stuff too. But what I've learned the most going through like my, I don't want to call it even like a spiritual journey, just my belief and faith journey of, oh, everything is a story in my head, and my relationship to those things is really, really important. So I think through my experience with therapy and things like that, if I can take away with anything, it's we're not trying to erase the health anxiety or the grief or the trauma or anything like that. It's learning to build a relationship with it and allow it to sit at the table with us without it running the conversation.
It's all about parables and stories. It's whatever works for you people. So that's why we're always throwing out different ones. Like my mom, I was trying to, put what Rupert said of just facing the feeling in context. And it's funny how easily we talked about that. And then she forgot it. And then there's another issue. I'm like, Mom, remember this? She's like, well, I guess it didn't stick. I was like, okay, well, let's use another one. She's always had her thing out. And Dana, this might stick with you. The whole Trump thing. It's like, Mom, if you were having a house party and Donald Trump showed up uninvited, what would be most people's reaction and yours? Get the fuck out of here, rage at him. Well, what's that going to do? Donald's going to bring his Pete Hegseth and the National Guard. He's going to fuck you up, right? But you also don't go, come on in and let me introduce you to everyone. You open the door and you just ignore him. He might walk in with the other guests you did invite. You attend to those guests. Positive thoughts. You go back to hosting the house party. Donald's going to walk around, try to get attention, try to talk to people. If he is ignored, as Rumi says, an ignored guest quickly leaves. He will just walk his way back out there when he's done his time. It's just energy moving through you. That is an example of a negative thought. That is an example of how you don't deal with these things. You don't engage with it. You don't touch it. You acknowledge it. Okay, back to tending to the party I'm hosting. That's the way we have to look at these things. You don't invite it. You don't neglect it. You let it be and let it move through you. And clearly, Sherzy has done that, where we're all going to die at some point. Only get paranoid when cops behind me. So Ben, Sherzy's grown up in the ghetto of Rockford where I played. So he's very much familiar with those folks. But I want to tap into his comments. He goes, my problem is I don't have kids, it seems. Like life changes for people with kids. I hear that a lot too, dude. I mean, my mom shared with me the years after my dad died, when she was in just survival mode, single mom, she was just like she already said it was hard when dad was alive, and she'd get her every other Wednesday and weekend off and just like collapse on the couch and be like, oh, right. But then when dad was gone, she just went in autopilot mode. And she's like, I don't know how it would have gone if I didn't have kids and went through your dad dying like that, but you guys were there, and there was no other option. It was get up and you go. So, I mean, I've heard that too, Sherzy. I've heard that big time. What about you, Ben?
It's interesting. And I want to even just think about that, but looking at the other side of that, like your dad, part of it became too much, the stress of it. And like with everything else that was going on in his life that he was already battling, there was so much. And like, so kids, I often find that I think some people think that kids are the solution, that it will just be changing. Welcome in, Steph. It's intriguing, because that tells me that the kids helped expose you to an environment that you already had inside of you. And once again, it goes, okay, if it's just like kind of it's just genes. What's it called? Oh, not genealogy.
Epigenetics.
Thank you so much. That was going to bother me so bad. The way that works is essentially like we have all these genes that are inside of us, right? But until they are exposed to the environment, they lay dormant. So if kids activate that it's letting you know that it's already inside of you. So it's, once again, it's sometimes just the awareness of knowing that that gene's inside of us, that it can activate. So even hearing that goes, okay, that's already there. I think that's what I love about epigenetics. Um, like,
Shares it. My cousin Kurt is a firefighter instructor. He drank himself in a dark place to the one he lost. It was a heavy-set lady, high 400 pounds. I know that mental struggle all too well. His problem was he blew his shoulder trying to carry her, and then they go in and pull them both out. My goodness.
all these things, right? Like all the stuff that everyone's going through, and so many times people don't have a place to talk about this and be heard. A lot of times it's just being seen and heard and supported, because all of these stories and narratives live inside of us. And when we don't have a community, that's why community is so important, because when we don't have that, not only does that experience live in there, then the narrative lives in there. Then once the narrative lives in there, it's how we feel about the narrative. Then it's not just how we feel about the narrative. Now it's the stories we tell ourselves about how we feel. And that's dependent on moments in the day and all of those things. But so when you have community and places to bounce that don't judge and all those things, it's so important. So that's why, like this, man, what you're doing with a community here, like look at all the people that feel comfortable enough to share experiences in their life. It's incredible for people to feel safe to talk about this stuff.
Hey, brother, you're bringing it too. Everybody's commending you for sharing, man. If we all just keep opening up, it's like, wow, I can actually share that. It's like we go through layers. It's like, I think I experience, like, you feel comfortable at a certain level. Oh, I can go to this level. I can go to this depth. And then somebody ups the ante and goes, that's why I've learned to just lay it out there. Today I'm talking on the street and they're like, what's this sign all about? You have a sign here. It says, what are we fighting for in life? And I'm like, well, it's because I was fighting in the NHL, basically unknowingly trying to prove my dad should have stuck around for me. And they're like, Jesus. And I'm just like, well, it's the truth. And I think that allows people to just be like, fuck it. You give another person the opportunity to judge you. And when people do, that's when somebody's really hurting. You give somebody an opportunity to judge you and they lean into judging you. Ooh, that's what happens on my Instagram story, right?
Literally yesterday, man. Literally, I loved the person that commented right after you. It was like, you're a better man than me.
I need to go back and comment, because that's what I was saying. He's like, no, you are the same man, woman. You just haven't revealed that part of your diamond yet.
And but also, like, don't think I didn't see that person's profile and then go check on, and like I went to their page and they share a lot of hate.
Yeah.
That's just that you can just, but once again, no judgment to them. You can see the world that they're in. But to get on somebody's Instagram or Facebook, hear the story that they lost their dad, and then your first place to go to is to make fun of them or bring them down. Once again, me and you've talked about this before. I know your first thought wasn't, namaste, brother, I love you, everything's wonderful. You're working really hard to just get that be right there like that. But that's not your first thought. Like your first thought is like, ooh, okay. Because I'm telling you right now, if situations went differently with my parent and somebody jumped on and said that to me, I'd have to take a walk around the block before I responded to anything, because that's the deepest of wounds that you have. And someone just went, what are you going to do about it?
You're nailing it, brother. Like when I was on the ice, I only think I had ever one player say something about my dad, and I fucking lost it. And I always said, if somebody did, I would lose it. And you're just nailing it. Every time I'm answering these comments, my mind is going. I'm watching it emerge from this nothingness void, just from nothing. It just emerges like a jet stream geyser of fuel. And sometimes I'll even catch myself mid-comment back to the person. I'll be like, whoa. People, I cannot emphasize it enough, and we're going to get to Lisa's amazing comment coming up here, and we got Sharesies too, but I can't emphasize enough what I said earlier about just sitting and facing it. The most expanded people, whatever you want to call them, people that are living the way we all want to and love and life permanently, they still feel it. Okay, everybody. The difference is as they explain it, they asked someone, they asked the master, they're like, hey, do you ever get angry? And he said, yeah. And they all went, the hell? And they're like, what? He's like, but it's like writing on water. And I think that is so visceral for all of us to understand. That enlightened master, this person who is just doesn't experience anything but love and light, still sees a stick or a finger write anger on the water of his being. But as soon as that finger makes a mark that's drawing that letter of A, it's already gone. It's already vanished before you can finish half the letter. So it's there, but we are so okay with sitting with it that it just literally just washes right over us. It goes right through us like we're not even there. And I think that is such a visceral thing. So like when Trump comes to the house and comes in your house, it's like, oh my God, you could put 1,000 Trumps in this guy's house and he ain't gonna care. You could say he's the most democratic guy. You put Trump in 100,000 Trumps in his house. He's like, whatever. It's gone because he's done the work. He's done the work, people. And clearly Sharzy has too in some way, because like, look at this example. We're talking about things that imprint in our heads that you shouldn't have anything to do. He picks up a friend for work at 4 a.m. at first break. At 7 a.m., found out the house 2 doors down, ex-husband killed a mom and their toddler, and it fucked with me for a while, because that's what the brain does. It tries to convince you that you could have done something. But he goes, but I literally couldn't have done anything. It wasn't even like it. I'm picking up what you're putting down here, Shares. You couldn't have done anything, but your awareness to see that. Shares, he says he's been meditating for years every day. So tells what you need to know there, people. He's able to see that move through and be like, that is an irrational thought. That's not a fact that I could have helped that family. That's a forecast. That's something that I can't know for sure. I'm not going to waste my time on it. He moves on. And he says, it took 10 years for the court system to charge him with murder and both of them in the arson. See, that probably messed with you more, even saying this, look, he's not even getting the charges. I could have done something. And that's how our mind works. That's how our mind works. But let's get into this. I'm going to turn off this damn fan and get into Lisa's comment here.
All right, I got it. I have dealt with health anxiety all of my life, but it actually hit its peak after I had Lynn's. I remember being so scared because I had this beautiful soul in my care. I became freaked because I thought if I die, she is stuck with her dad. I was hypersensitive to every symptom. No one in my family knew. I went on medication for a bit, but wanted off quickly. The one thing the medication did was numb me so I could see the symptoms weren't real. I also did cognitive behavioral therapy. Oh, this is the culmination. This is the epitome of it.
This is what this is the call right here. Like, I mean, this is what we're doing this stream for right here.
And so even Gabe's, when you were talking about your thing, relating it right here to Lisa. Hello.
Don't worry about me. My camera's being weird.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, do you need us to wave back? It's interesting because once again, the theme is the relationship to it. Oftentimes so often I sit on calls with people and so I'm going to sit here with you, Lisa. I'm going to look in the thing and be like, hey, Lisa, you have permission to have those feelings. You are allowed to have those feelings. And here's why. Because you're a human being that is set to, where is it? This is a feelings wheel. All of these feelings on here, you have permission to feel because you are a human being. None of them are bad. Some of them are undesirable, like this one. This is probably undesirable. Health anxiety is certainly undesirable, but you're allowed to have it, allowed to come in. The fear of it, that's the problem. The desire not to have it is the problem. The health anxiety isn't the problem. It's our relationship to it. So just know when it's popping up, this is what I do. This is my experience, and this is what helps me. I can feel myself I feel the tightness come in right here. This is where I experience it, and it goes through my shoulders. And I go, Ben, you're allowed to feel this way. It's okay. You have permission. And at that moment, I almost like go, I do? It's like, yeah, of course you do. You're scared? You're allowed to be scared. That's okay. Be scared. And so it was the writing on the water, right? And so it's remember just like in this moment, I am scared. You are allowed to be scared. Your forecast of being scared for the next 1 hour, 2 hour, 30 years is really what's becoming the problem. I love that this just follows you around everywhere. This This is so cool. You could like record, you could literally record your own little like vlog by doing this. But that's something that helps me, is giving my 3D version of myself just permission, which I was screaming inside, wondering why no one noticed my struggle.
The part you mentioned here, Lisa, really hit home with me, because my Meat Monkey spacesuit for a while got so up in arms against medication and my journey of being told I had to be on it for the rest of my life. And now I see it in Michael Singer's words to me when I went to go visit him, and I asked him directly to his face, do I use it or not? Is it going to stall my growth because it's going to suppress what I need to actually process? And he's just like, everything is a tool. Everything is this consciousness. Use what you need. But what a beautiful I've never heard someone say this like this, Lisa. I went on medication for a bit while I went off quickly. But the one thing it told you when you were on it was numb me so I could see the symptoms weren't real. Wow. I've never thought of that way, because I didn't experience that the same way. Mine exacerbated it. It confused them, but you were able to see, like, so the medication, that's so powerful. You did that you felt the symptoms go away and didn't just stick with the medication. You went, oh, this means they're not real. And you got off them and then sat with them. And that just proves you can sit and face this, right? That's powerful. You saw through the illusion that is fear, false evidence appearing real. You saw through those things. But you're still struggling with people not seeing you go through it. But you went through it and you are thriving now on 115 whatever days straight of meditation. You kidding me?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's so amazing.
She's meditated every day in silence since the start of this year. And before the new year, she was doing it in the tub with a guided meditation. She was feeling that resistance, and then she backed away for a bit, and then she came out of nowhere to be like, I think I said, who wants to start the year meditating every day and see how long we take it? She's like, yep, I need this. I'm let's go. And oh my gosh, Lisa, that's why you're sitting able to share these things and talk about these things. And the things you post in our Fire of Remembrance chat just shows where your mind's at thinking about these things. It's amazing. Oh, she goes with post-pregnancy hormones at that time back then too. Oh my God. Yeah. We can't speak about that one, but my goodness.
Oh, and also don't take into discredit now. I'm never going to ask anyone's age in here, and I don't want to do that, but don't ever discredit hormones. I've just recently been, I'm rereading again The End of Mental Illness by Daniel Amen. I think it's Daniel Amen. And the chapter literally I'm reading this week, it could be just for this, it's hormones, especially with estrogen and oh my gosh, Ben, I can't think of it, but there's so much stuff. And just if finances, insurance, or if you're in Canada, I don't know what that whole system looks like. If you can get blood work to talk and like level, like about your levels, that might be just something that helps your mind be like, this is why it's even elevating, but this has been so long. So it's not just this, but progesterone. Thank you, Steph. I very, very much appreciate you getting me to that. But one thing to remember is exactly what Eric is saying. You are doing amazing. And listen what Linz goes, she's pretty awesome. Like, we talked about like the fear of not being able to talk about it or not wanting to pass it down and do all of these things. But look at the relationship when you're open and honest about it. All of a sudden, Linz is here. She can talk about her fears. She has a place to go because you're open and honest. So she feels open and honest. Like, that's where, like, I love. Do you know how many people in not just your generation, my generation, our generation above, like, don't talk about this because they don't know how to? You both, anyone having this conversation in here is doing amazing because you're talking about it. You're demystifying it. And then once you demystify, you're allowed to create the relationship to it where it just starts day by day getting less and less powerful.
Oh, I love that word. Demystify it. I love that word. That's Aju Shanti. I showed a little clip to my friends the other day. This spiritual teacher For the longest time in human society, everybody, being enlightened was like being Superman. Like it was something that nobody got to because nobody had access to the information. The deep teachings weren't available to the average person. They thought it was too much. People kept it under wraps. But what we call this like enlightenment, and it sounds like this exotic thing of living in this happiness as love and light. It is so natural to the human experience. It's been happening ever since there were people on this earth. It's part of your human evolution. There's this spiritual impulse on us all. We all can't be quenched by anything other than our realization of our own being. And we're starting to have this demystified by sitting around and talking about this. Like it's very real. It's not something that's only a reserve for special people. And we all are working towards this feeling that we are born into being able to experience, and demystifying it as, oh, that person had some amazing life and it woke them up, or that person's, it's like he's seeing in his practice as a teacher, he's like, once people sit in the room and see other people making breakthroughs and they go, wait a second, I see that guy at the dog park and he doesn't even pick up his dog shit. Like I see that person at the grocery store, she just gets eggs like me. And they're making breakthroughs. That's what you're all doing, sitting around here talking to each other. You're demystifying living a life this way that seems like a barrier in the society we live in now, but it's not. It's actually the greatest gift to be living in a society that's pounding us with fear and all these things because it wakes you up. And my goodness, this quote is hitting for me on my journey recently. One of the great teachers said, pleasure puts you to sleep. Pain wakes you up. If you don't want to suffer, don't go to sleep. And it's just like, for someone who's so sensitive and always chasing the pleasure and fear and scared of the fear, it's so simple for me right now. Seeing that, it's like, it's just demystifying that I actually don't need anything. I don't need to seek pleasure. I don't need to seek opportunities for pain to find me. It's all going to find me. Just stay with it. And the theme of this call, clearly health anxiety, the theme of the call is transitioning to just be with it and be okay. And my last little share here, my mom, she's getting the point to using a mantra. So everybody doesn't know a mantra is something you use when the mind is running and you can't get out of the loop and it's causing you torture, right? It's the mantra is used as like a mini vacation, a place to place your mind on a positive thought or a positive instruction. So for my mom, she's learning Gaelic. So I'm like, Mom, you gotta relax your inner hands, as Michael Singer says. When something comes up, don't push it away. Don't pull it towards you. Sit on your hands, which means don't touch it. Don't touch when Donald Trump comes in the house, right? So she's like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I really like the word fuck it lately. She's reclaiming swearing. She's like, I'm going to say fuck it. Like, fuck this. I'm going to sit on my hands, right? And then she's like, no, wait, I'm going to say it in Gaelic. So then she made up a mantra in Gaelic. And the way it sounds in Gaelic, it sounds like saddle. So her word is saddle up. So that's her version that she's come up with to say, when the shit comes, she's going to go, saddle up, Kim. And settle into that saddle for her. Whatever that horse goes, settle in and just be with what comes. That's the theme of this stream, everybody.
I love that. It's so funny. My mantra is, and that's okay. Anytime I'm feeling it, like, so I think of like your experience with that person's comment. I'd be getting overworked or overstimulated for sure. And I go, and that's okay. You're allowed to. You hear me talk about it. So once again, all these things, and Lynn's said something, I want to kind of touch on that. I've been a bit guarded during my time here simply because that armor on me is pretty thick. But seeing a space where people can talk about their hardest experience gives me hope for shedding my layers. One, that's so huge. And I'm going to express I'm going to relate to you through my experience that helped me. The more I talked about it, the more I demystified it in communities like this. Now, once again, I kind of went to the extreme and started creating content. If you if you watch my episode, you'll understand I kind of made a deal with myself and my way of helping others and fulfilling that deal with myself was helping others through it, was telling my story. So Lynn's, little by little, talking about it in this space is so much. Steph, I love so Steph, as you can see, recovery rider. She does therapeutic riding and stuff like that. So saddle up, That's incredible. What a relatable. Thank you so much for sharing that, brother, because you're going to help. Steph comes from my community. So she's
Oh,
over
hey,
here.
thank you. I was
Yeah.
waiting for that. I was trying to piece it together. I'm like, where's the intro here? I know that sounds like someone he knows.
Yeah, Steph is a wonderful part. She's part of the Somebody Like You crew. She comes over, she hangs out in our school community. Every Thursday we jump on calls. And so you sharing that and helping her through that, it's amazing. Amazing. She said, welcome. I've been on mental health meds since I was in elementary school. I went off in 2006 and I experienced some psychosis, but it was way more to me. But since then I have had anxiety about that. One of the greatest questions I get all the time is, should I be on medication or not? Ben, what's your experience? And I go, to your point, it's what's your relationship to it? Are you doing it to numb it all so it will go away? Or are you doing it to help you create the relationship to work through it and become in a healthier space with it? Because if it's to numb it, I would say tread cautiously, but I'm not saying no. But what it's going to numb it for a little bit. Your body's going to build resilience and it's going to have to keep going up, going up, going up. So I think that's always my biggest thing when it comes to medication and mental health. It's obviously professionals and stuff like that. But
look at this cross-pollination. You know, we were talking about the flowers don't entice the bees. You just got to let your fragrance shine. Now we're cross-pollinating. Next thing you know, we're going to have people from the Love and Light going over to Ben. Ben has a school community, everyone. Ben's been doing this a lot longer than me, believe me. He's got a school community. It's beautiful that, you know, we have this Love and Light stream. We got your school community. We're building the course that's going to have the locker room. So just to intro everybody to that, right? We have this Love and Light community. We got Ben's school community. Where then those are kind of our, let's say, our grounded mental health, minds, very, you know, and also spiritual spaces. But this locker room we created for our course is going to be for specifically the Meat Monkey spacesuits who are coming to us, like, let's say, Jesse out in Newfoundland, you know, who's coming for the fights. And he's like, yeah, this stuff's kind of interesting, but like he leans into the athlete language and the hockey language. We're building that course for Dana's friends that reach out, that we get this to, first responders at half price, where they know that they need this athlete type mentality to approach life with, whether they're a first responder, whether they're a retiring athlete, whether they're, you know, 45 years old and transitioning in life. That's the mindset. So we're going to have that place where it's strictly athlete language, strictly non-woo. So we're going to have places for everyone, right? We got to create those entry points for everyone because we all learn differently and we all have different journeys.
And health anxiety is really just the tip of that all, right? Like, there's so much more that goes into it that we haven't even touched on depression. We haven't even touched on, like, brother, your experience going through bipolar, like, whatever the mental health, not even diagnosis is. I think that the most important thing is, so many of us look for the diagnosis to get validation, but then what kind of thing? And it's like, remember, like, we're not the diagnosis. So if it's ADHD, if it's OCD, if it's bipolar, whatever, that's the unique way in which you're experiencing the world. It's not your handicap. It's your experience of the world. Society and other places have taught you that that's a disadvantage. But you know how me and you would think of it. It's like, let's name all the advantages and why that's so beneficial for you. I look at you, man. Look at what you've worked through. And it's become like that diagnosis and that experience has now become your superpower into where you are and how you're navigating life.
Oh, love and light arrow to the chest, brother. Thank you so much, brother. Oh, I got to talk with people about that in the park today. You know, people are standing there watching us talk, and this dude comes up, Ezra. We start shooting the shit about things. He was a little kind of nervous at first. He comes in, we start chatting. And what changed everything for him? Therapy. A different guy walked up to me. He walked by and he went, wait, he recognized me from hockey and the podcast and stuff. And he's like, what happened? What changed for him after he, you guys will see the content. He was committed to Penn State University for hockey. Ben's a no from that area. And he got concussions and it all fell through. And fuck, did he struggle. And he siloed it. Did the same thing we're all doing. You start to see people, it's the same story being repeated in everybody's own version. It's all vanilla ice cream. We're all vulnerable. We're all scared to die. We're all scared of pain. We're all scared of suffering. We want happiness. It's all ice cream. We're all just different flavors of it, okay? And like Erica's strawberry. You know, Lisa Jude's this, I'm this, Ben's this. We're all different. And it's the same thing. He goes, I started talking to my therapist and realized, Holy shit, I feel better when I talk. Then I opened up to a couple close buddies. They opened up to me back. They were struggling worse than me. And then it just snowballs and snowballs into the love and light, folks. It's so simple, yet our minds make it so complicated. And that's why we have to do the work every morning. That's what I preach. That's my path and journey. And I'm never going to stop saying it.
It's allowed to be hard. I think when you're surrounded around people, like we talk about so much. Oh, I'm strawberry. Sorry, that like became like it became like a stim in my head. I was like, ooh, I'm strawberry. That's how I heard it in my head. Sorry.
That's how I view Enlightened Erica, like just the lovelier self, strawberry.
Oh, I love seeing you two next to each other today. It was awesome. But I think that's the thing about community and permission, like giving it permission to be difficult. When you're a part of a team, it's almost like a collective, like it's a collective difficult, right? You have a goal, you're going out, like practices suck. They're hard. Conditioning's like, there's maybe one person out of 50 that love conditioning drills, and that's maybe one, and he's probably faking it. No one loves conditioning, but going at it together and going through like this collective suck is like that's what it is. So like that's kind of what this, and then you guys can talk about it. Then you have meetings, and then you game plan for it. You watch tape. So you get into the mental health field, and it's the same thing. It's you sit in a community, you talk about your struggles. When something bad happens, you know you have a place to go to, whether that's therapy, whether that's weekly calls, whatever it might be. And then you're with each other. Then your experience helps somebody else, because what you're strong in might lack some, and you go, okay, hold on 1 second. I can help you, you can help me. And it becomes this powerful dynamic of your story becoming your superpower.
And I had to let you finish there because you were spitting straight fire. But people, let me just show this. I know that's going to trip you out for a second. Look at this. I didn't want to break you, but look who joined the stream, everybody. Oh, it's too small. See if I can blow it up. Can anybody read the bottom name there? See if did it come up? Oh no, where? No. Oh no, it has to be here. See the bottom name. Who's the bottom name there?
The Subinator?
PK Subban himself.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
That's insane.
Subi, if you're still here, brother, thank you. You probably just checked in, checked out, but if you're still here, man, very, very, very nice of you to join. He was at the Habs game last night. They had him on the Jumbotron. He was just like going crazy, and then the music going. He's doing the towel. That's what a guy awesome. we could have on the pod one day to talk. God damn, he's fought through some shit, man. Some interesting experiences. That guy.
He was in New Jersey at one point, right?
He was.
Were you at the same time? Were you in the same time?
I missed him by a year.
Oh, okay. So we went what in 20? Or you were there in?
He came in 2021, I believe. 2020. Yeah, 2020, 2021. He came, but we connected because of obviously advocacy work. But he was nominated for the King Clancy finalist the same year that I was, and he actually won it. He's donated so much money. He donated a whole hospital wing in Montreal. It's called the PK Subban wing, like $10 million. Like, it's awesome, man. So he's a guy that I would love to pick his brain about his journey, because that guy's lived. You want to talk about a unique hockey journey? My goodness,
dude. And what's really cool, I was a big fan of his when he was in Nashville, right? And then obviously continued his career. I think something he did incredible for the sport is he's such a good personality that he like made like the hockey, like where Biz is at now, like it became the space like for people, like I think Four Nations hit. And his commentary, like leading up to that, and then just the relatability, jumping on all the shows. I thought it was so cool because once again, the casual fan like me, he was so digestible, and having these people behind the scenes of living such a like tremendous career, being able to talk about it and behind the scenes stuff. So I think he just absolutely crushed it. And obviously you're talking about all the incredible work he's doing. That's awesome. That's so cool.
He's a big lightning rod for the game. People show up for his content, whether they agree or not. Yep. They really come out for him big time. Yeah. His brother bought him a beer at a road game one time when he was a healthy scratch. Awesome. That's super cool. They are when I've come across them, been the nicest people. Cam says he used to watch his brothers play for the Belleville Bulls. Yeah, dude, one of his brother, Malcolm Subban, who's a pro level goalie, he was a top 5 draft pick in the OHL going to be as a defenseman. And then he like was on pace for that. And then he switched to goalie like a couple years before and still got drafted. Like that's how talented these guys are. Man. How do you switch to goalie after you're already a sick player? Like nobody said to him, "Hey kid, you're gonna stay as the defenseman." He went, "Yeah, right. I'm gonna be a fucking goalie." He said, "Screw you, everybody." Fucking guy, holy shit, man.
I think I was just watching something. I don't know if it was Chris Chelios. Did Chelios play with Gretzky in LA before he went to Detroit?
I know Chelly played in Chicago, Montreal. I don't think he crossed the Gretzky. No,
I can't remember who played. I can't remember who played front of the net in LA. But I just saw this reel the other day, and he was talking about Gretzky joined LA, and he wasn't getting as much ice time on the penalty kill or on the power play because Gretz came, and so they pulled him into the front office. They're like, "Hey, we know you're like whatever. You're not putting out as much as you want, but like don't take it personally. Like you're gonna get there. And like we wish you played the front of the net." And he goes, "Oh, I played the front of the net in the AHL and coming up all the time." And he goes, "This was in the 80s, so there wasn't any tape." And so he's like, "I just lied. I never played in front of the thing my entire career." And he goes, "I'm known for playing in front of the net my entire career, and I lied about it." So just hearing about like the type of athlete you have to be to jump into positions you've never played. Now, going from defenseman to goalie is absolutely insane. But like it's such a wild story. Like there's a different level of ability at that stage where you can just like jump in and be like a top level performer in positions you've never played.
Maybe it was Luke Robitaille. He was like the star there, and then Gretzky came in.
Yes, that's who it was. It was Luke Robitaille.
Nice. Okay.
I feel like he looks like Chris Chelios in my mind.
He definitely does. No, right? I can see that, like the hair of it. He's just Chelly's just the guy that lived in the damn sun. The guy's like tan more than leather. Like he's just the stories about Chris Chelios are crazy. Chris Chelios played till he was like in his 50s in Chicago in the AHL. What he did was he got everywhere he played. He did this, but he would drink like hard every night. But he would have a bike in the sauna, and he would wake up early, get to the rink early, be in the bike on the sauna to sweat it out, practice, then just do it over again. That was what he did. That was his, and he was a Hall of Famer.
That's insane. Like once again, nuts. Everyone's got their journey. Like everyone's got their way. And that's what I'm saying. Like there's no right way to do it. Find the right way for you. And I'm going to do my best not to judge anyone for their journey. Like,
Amen. Man, this has been a fucking stream, people. This is where the good stuff is. I mean, I keep thinking the takeaway, which gets me always fired up, is that it's the same. It's always the same for me, but it's just, you just sit with it. You sit with it, whatever that means to you, whatever that pathway takes you, a mantra where you repeat in your head when it gets tough, you use positive thinking, you sit down to meditate, you do 3 of them at once, you find your way. And I shared it on my spiritual account today, Collective Memoria. If everybody's not familiar with J. Krishnamurti, so he was this kid who, I think it was called like something, think of it like a spiritual society, and they were looking for their like next Buddha. They were literally thinking this next person was coming, which is crazy to think. That shows the flaws in their society right there, putting that pressure on someone or anything. So they find this one of the clairvoyants of the society one day sees this Indian boy on the beach and is just like the love and light's blinding off this kid. They're like, this is the kid, this is the Buddha, this is him. They bring him in, use all the society's resources, train him, educate him, the whole deal. They said there was so much love and light pouring out of this kid. And he was too pure love and light, because once they gave him the keys to the society, said, okay, it's yours now, Buddha, do your thing. He went and dissolved the whole thing. He brought the whole house down, dissolved this whole society, and said, no man owns the truth. No person can lead you home. It is your journey that is specifically unique. So that is why we harp on this. That is why we're building our course. I'm not the GM and owner of the team. I'm the captain of the team on the course. Ben's the assistant coach. We're the people that support you and surround you and build the framework to say, get out there, kid, or a kick in the butt, girl, whatever it is. Nobody holds power over you. And if everybody wants to tap into this story too, there's a great legendary book by Herman Hesse. It's only like under 200 pages. It's called Siddhartha. And it's all about that you can't walk anybody else's path. This boy in this book meets the real Buddha in that time. And even he knows to neglect that path because he has to walk his own.
That's the most powerful thing of it all. It's remembering that you are the Yuru. Like the whole point of this journey is finding your path. Now you can find so you might find inspiration from Gabe's, from me, from PK, like from anybody like in the world, right? But their journey is not your journey. It sparks inspiration for you as a starting place. Like turn that into your version. And like if you could approach, well, we'll just use health anxiety because that's been kind of the topic of tonight. Approach health anxiety with curiosity instead of fear.
Oh,
Like be curious about it. It will change everything. Be curious.
dude. The synchros. Another teacher online, he said, Krishnamurti told him this story. He said, if you have problems with your mind, go to the garden and just be curious about everything, about every leaf, every blade of grass, every ant on the leaf, every flower. And you could do that because a lot of us like pretty things and flowers. And he said, do that for whatever amount of time, 30 minutes, and try to immerse yourself. Every time thoughts come up, it'll be easier for you to be focused on things you're interested in, beautiful. He said, then go inside, shut the door, and do the same thing with your mind. Sit in the dark, silence, whatever, and be curious about your mind the same way you're curious about that garden. And your life will just start to change. That's what meditation is for us people. You're just getting curious because you're sitting there, you know you're safe in a room, you know you're not in danger, and you're going, okay, what can come up today? What am I going to be? What am I going to learn today about myself? Get curious about it. And you start to map your mind. You start to see where certain things come up. Oh, this one's tight in my chest. This one's makes my back hurt. You know, I can't stop scratching this scab. Whatever it is, you start to see the mind do its thing, and you can't possibly be it. The longer you do this, you can't possibly be this mind. You can't possibly be generating the thoughts. Every single one of us cannot predict the next thought that's coming out of our head. You may think you said, oh, I said I was going to say this. You know there's another 3 running in the background. Come on.
They talk about WebMD. They're talking. Sharzy said the problem with WebMD isn't your friend. So remember this. Now the world's getting a little bit different with AI and stuff. So, but for the longest time we'd all Google the stuff, right? Well, remember this. Google is a search engine, and what that means is what Google's going to put up at the top is the thing that gets the most clicks. The thing that probably gets the most clicks is the most fear-inducing because that's where everyone's attention is going to go to, whether it be social media and fearful hooks, all like. So what you're clicking on is the most fearful thing because it gets the most clicks. So now when it comes to AI and web, like, so that's just the power of your awareness. Something that always helps me is you're paying with your attention and you're spending your time. If your awareness is currency, watch what you're paying for. So always pay attention intentionally and always spend your time intentionally. Like right now, I would say, what's your investment from spending your time and paying your attention to this place? Is this a positive investment for your time and your attention? I think so. I hope so.
It's a damn positive investment for my mind and my journey.
Same, dude.
Oh,
right. Shares, he said it. I love that. I had no idea until you searched it. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's remembering like, oh my gosh. You have red on the other side of your head. I was like, did you go toe to toe with someone today for content?
It's put my hand on my head.
I was like, I can't wait to see this content. I was like, you told me you weren't putting the gloves on and fighting anymore.
Dude, a huge dude comes out to me and he's like, it was when I had the sign up. It said, do you want to drop the gloves with an former NHL fighter? And he's like, what is this? And I'm like, what do you want it to be? You know, because I didn't really have a plan. I just was like, let's just see what happens. And I gave him the gloves. And we're like, okay. I was like, drop him. He's like, okay. We dropped him. He was like 2 of me. And we're starting to tie each other up and everything. And he's acting like he doesn't know what he's doing. And then we stop and he's like, well, I'm a boxer. You want to box? And I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. Fuck that shit. It was so much fun, dude. It's going to be really interesting. But for everybody here, this is where you guys come on the stream to get the inside stuff. I'm literally talking to this guy named Ezra. I think he'll be joining the stream with us at some point. He's the guy that said therapy. One of the guys that said therapy changed everything. Great guy, cool dude. We're talking, and I'm so locked in talking to him because I'm just so present with him. I don't care if the freaking Jesus walked by. I wasn't going to distract me. I was locked in on this guy's story, just like me and him. And as I'm talking to him, literally one of the superstars of the Maple Leafs walks by. Matthew Nice.
That's wild.
Matthew Nice walks by walking his dog with a friend. Okay. He walks by, he stops, looks at the sign, just taking it all in. My guy, Tyler, and Erica are standing right there. Tyler's like, right? Brandon's like, fucking Matthew, nice, right? But I'm so locked in on this Ezra guy. So we just keep talking, and we talk for like a long time. Some of these things turn into like 5-10 minute conversations. So Matthew Nice keeps walking. He stops, turns around, looks back again. Brandon, who's holding down the fort at our bench, he walks over to Nice. He goes, hey, man, like that's our buddy, Kurtis Gabriel. We work for him and stuff, and he's doing content. He's like, he knew my name. He's like, oh, okay. And then Brandon's like, do you want to like, you want to go talk to him? And he's like, no, I'm on a walk, man. He kind of played it like a little, like, I'm on a walk, like, and Brandon backed off and let him be. But then Brandon said he heard his friend go, imagine that guy knew who he was. And Nice was like, yeah, ho, ho, or whatever, like laughing about it. And I was just like, so I'm finally done with Ezra. And they're like, dude, they had to wait like 5 minutes to tell me they're fucking Matthew Nice. And I was like, come on, that would have been awesome. He comes back around when I'm talking to the next person, is like looking, he wanted to come talk. Right? Like, hey, I'm hoping that we get a clip, because Tyler was videotaping me. I'm standing there and Nice walks in front of us. So we're going to have it like when Matthew Nice walks by and you just don't even know. Like, anyway, hopefully just make funny content about it.
Dude, that's just you though, man. You are so intentional with your conversations. And I'm sure somebody would, like you said, Brandon was probably sitting there like,
they knew not to say anything. I bet you they were kicking themselves, but I think they knew that that would just that's not our brand, people. Yeah. Everybody's the same in the different Meat Monkey space. Who cares? It's Matthew Nice. We can wait.
That's literally like why you're doing this though. We had a moment the other day. I was talking about like, you're going on these podcasts and they're loving you for you. Like, that's been the point. Like, that's the whole point of your brand is like, yeah, hey, listen, I'm a former professional hockey player, like doing like tough guy, all this stuff, but like, that's not who I am. We're all one. Like, that's literally like your whole entire thing. And I think that's what like you're so true to. And that's one thing you asked me to be like, hey man, when I'm not being true to that, let me know. And so like, you even have things like set up for like, hey, if I'm not, let me know. And I'm open to hearing about it. So like, that's where I just like, I love it, man. You are, as always, walking that walk, man. And that's so sick.
I appreciate that, brother. Like, I realized that after my ego kicked on though, for sure. Like I had to build that story a little bit after, like, oh, that's why I was so locked in on the person. Because my mind's like, oh, that would have been good content. It would reach more people. It's like, no, brother, it's already done. It's already done. That's not how this thing works. PK Subban joining the stream, whatever. It all's done, people. Oh,
dude, you want to talk about ego? My ego goes, wait, PK Subban saw my face? Like, in what world would I ever think like, I'd be like, yeah, PK Subban's going to see your face at some time in your life. I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Life just rolls out the red carpet for you people. I'm telling you, the more you lean into the love and light, the more you work at knowing that when you do lean in, I'm Corey Cooper just checked out. So hope Corey Cooper's still here. Good night, Corey Cooper. Everybody's saying good night to Corey. That's when you just, it's so beautifully designed. This life we live, it's all designed by us, for us, to us, for all of us to experience, but it's so deliciously seductive and it makes it so tricky, yet the answers are right in front of our faces. That's what we're here to do. That's collective memoria. That's where we're here to collectively remember and just keep pointing each other back, that we can't do it wrong. But
that's the art of meditation.
Yes.
That's it. That's what meditation isn't the quiet mind. It's literally, it goes and it comes back. The part of meditation is the recognition that it's wandered and the art of bringing it back and not being angry with yourself. It's what you're doing. It's meditation in practice. What you are doing is meditation. I want people to know that. Like, that is meditation. It doesn't have to be a certain brainwave and all of this shit. Like, you are practicing meditation. It's the art of recognizing the separation and bringing it back.
Dude, you're tapping into I shared a short video of me just sitting in the sun, open eye, meditating is what it looks like to the Meat Monkey spacesuit and the ego, but I'm just being, because that's what I explained to them. It's like before, this is where most of us are at. And that's the journey. You start with, I'm a meat monkey spacesuit. I'm going to practice meditation. And I'm just saying, people do that until one day you're going to say, somebody's going to ask, do you meditate? And you go, I mean, I am right now. They're like, what? Like, yeah, I don't practice meditation. It's what I am. It's what we all are. And that's and then Rupert Spirit and Alan Watts, they all say it's like, then you got to go back to, then you got to practice being a human, everybody. You got to practice being a meat monkey spacesuit. That's the change. So I'm like, you guys see me sitting there in the sun. They're like, and Brendan Zen said, thanks for showing us your practice. And it's like, but I got to tell you, I'm not going to waste this opportunity. I'm just happen to be sitting there in a position that you think's meditating now. It's not meditating. It's so beautiful, people, because it becomes your life. It becomes your life. And I think these things are important to share because these are the things that I've resonated with people. Like, it's at the point now where I only do cultivating of the love and light or whatever we're doing here. Or if I'm not doing that, it's just sitting there in silence. And then, the music comes on and I'll hear that a little bit, whatever. But it gets to a point where I thought about this life too, as I'm in my cave of my mom's basement suffering. And I'm like, I'm taking this Nickerson course. My mind's like, why are you taking this? You can't even get out of your bedroom. Like, you're losing your mind. I don't care. I know, I felt it in my heart. Like, we're going to be doing this. This is going to be coming through. This is going to be coming through. And I kept being like, what's the life I want to live? The way Erica did that exercise. What's the way that I see coming through? And it's like, I want to feel like whatever I end up doing is actually what I want to do all the time. And anything I'm not doing it, I don't need anything else. I just rest the body, do what I need to take to do. And then I just do it more because there's nothing else I'd rather be doing. That's what I saw come through. That's what's manifested now. There's no reason to like doom scroll TikTok or something. There's no reason to go sit outside of my former place I used to eat and drool. Like, it's just like on to the next. And it's the same thing that has Ben sitting here. Ben said, I can check out, but let's see if I can always go back to that. Let's see if I can help people. That's what's gotten both of us sitting here talking to you all like this. And this stream coming together is just being like, okay, I could check out, but let's see if I can help one person. And that opens up life. It changes everything.
You realize that the service to others is actually service to yourself because we are all one. That's the lesson I've learned. I've sat in countless coaching calls, giving countless speeches, giving countless keynotes, and I've just realized that anytime I'm speaking to someone, I am speaking to myself, whether that feel like past, present, or future. It's all one. It's wild. It's wild, man.
How do you feel 2 hours into a live stream with the love and light? Has the first time staying on for 2 hours. How do you feel, brother?
Oh, brother, I could go for another 2. This is my shit. I once again, so you don't know what you're training for, man. I did this for like probably 4 years, 3 times. One time for a while, it was 5 days a week, but it was Monday through Fridays, and I would do it for like 3 hours at a time with mediums. I used to sit with evidential mediums and they would get all of like the cool shit, right? Because they would do all the reading and stuff like this. And I would be the person that blended the spiritual into the 3D, and I would be the mental health side of it and be like, hey, this also can help your mental health because there's so many layers of mental health mediumship that requires grounding, meditation, being present for things to come through. So yeah, brother, I could rip another 2 hours, man. Especially with you, like this is playing in a sandbox, man. Like me and you have had 4-hour conversations, and I look up and like, the sunset, huh? Yeah, and then you have all these amazing people in here. Like, come on, like, yeah, thank you for having me for 2 hours. Thank you, everyone. I hope this was a positive investment of your time and your attention, because this was certainly a positive investment of my time and attention. I'm so privileged to be here.
It's so beautiful. I get energy from this, people. This is like me back in the day going to New Jersey Devils stick handling shooting room 3 hours before practice and stick handling, but I couldn't turn it off. I didn't know how to channel the love and light. I did too much. I burnt myself out. So now it's like, I know that, okay, 2 hours is out. People know on the stream, they're so nice. They kick us off by saying goodnight early because they know we have to put our oxygen masks on first. But I'm telling you, people, what's flowing through this body is that one day the stream was never going to turn off. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a 24/7 thing. If I had an AI bot that could follow me, it would already be doing it. But I'm telling you, this is the way this is going. This is the way this is going. You're all a single part of that. You feed this meat monkey spacesuit to just Love what it's doing so much. So thank you so much. The love and light pouring from you all with these comments. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Like, God damn. There's no words for it. So just thank you. Fuck.
I want to thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for including me. I want to say thank you to everybody for including me, taking me into this space of allowing me to do what I do and speak on things and allowing me just to be a part of everyone's life. I don't take that for granted. I'm so honored and privileged, and I don't take any moment spent with you or anybody here for granted, because this is the thing I've dreamed of. This.
So much more impactful to me than some dream of playing in the NHL or some dream you had of playing college, whatever. Like you knew early on you were just helping people, man. That's it. You knew earlier than me, and there's no comparison, but so beautiful to see you here. Okay.
This is my dream. I want you to know this is the show for me. Like, this is, like, I may have wanted to play and do all that shit, but like, this is the show. Like, this is that version of when I told you in the podcast, the kid thought he was a light going to help the world. This is the show for me.
And it's effortless. Your show, your dream, people should feel effortless. Hockey was not effortless. This is effortless, bro. Effortless.
Yeah. Trained my whole life for it. You've trained your whole life for it. Everyone in the chat trained their whole life to be here. You're not broken. You're literally, Erica, I think, said it earlier up in the chat, like, all of us are literally the same, 100% working through all of the same things, our versions of it, and we are raising that frequency just by being here together, by uniquely being us, whether that be health anxiety, whether that be depression, whether that be bipolar, whether that be whatever it is. You are a superhero because you are here talking about it, giving other people a place not to feel alone. We may be a face sitting on the screen right now, but you are all of the radio waves behind it that is allowing the music to play.
A fucking man. Mic drop. Namaste. Love you all. I'm just going to go sit down and just feel this energy flowing through my body and then call my mama and check out her meditation day and all your stuff. Brother, I hope you have a wonderful night. And I'll be seeing you.
Right back at you, brother. Love you all. Thank you so much, brother.
Namaste, people. Let's go. I'm putting on some tunes to take it out. What am I feeling? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? How about this?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Here it comes.
Oh.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Come on.
No more.
Track me. Track me. Love you, everybody. Woo! What is love?